This is the FM Gold channel of All India Radio Delhi. This broadcast is also available through live streaming on our Prasar Bharati app, News on Air, for listeners anywhere in the world. Today is National Farmers Day. We now bring you an interaction on the challenges and opportunities in the agriculture sector with Dr. Shankar Gaur, an academician who has served as a Vice Chancellor in an agricultural university and is very closely associated with research in the field of agriculture. Initiating the conversation is Nitish Arora.
Our best wishes to all the farmers on National Farmers Day, and I welcome Professor Shankar Gaur to our studios.
Thank you.
What is the significance of this particular day, National Farmers Day, and why do we celebrate this day?
See, National Farmers Day is particularly commemorating the importance of farmers and importance of agriculture in our life. And of course, this has been signifying the importance of agriculture, which is the main source of livelihood for many of the Indians particularly. But anywhere in the world also, agriculture provides the basic profession and also provides the basic needs for our life. And agriculture provides us the means of livelihood as well as raw materials for various other industries. And a very intricate subject, in fact, to study and an intricate profession to follow. Now, this day is also celebrated to celebrate the birthday of Chaudhry Charan Singh, our fifth Prime Minister.
And a Kisan leader.
And a Kisan leader who really thought of Kisans, he thought of agriculture, and his roots were in agriculture. He understood really what agriculture is. And he brought in a lot of reforms, whether it was Jamidari Unmulan or it was lot of, say, farmers marketing.
And right now we are also on the cusp of another reform movement. I hope that better sense prevails all over, and whatever are Lukinos in the new farms bill are taken care of. And once again, we grow as a agriculture economy.
No, I'm sure when these communication gaps are removed, the farmers will understand any other issues will be resolved, and India can have a lot of market in the world, and where India can prosper as a world market, where a lot of produce can go out from here, can be of better quality, and can compete in the world as a whole. And that day, I think Chaudhry Charan Singh will be very happy wherever his soul is, and that our farmers are really have come up to the mark, and they have really contributed to the world, and they are recognized all over the world as well as they were in the past.
Absolutely. This day is very important now to think about agriculture as an engine of growth for India.
Yeah.
I think this is the very rock bed of human civilization. Had there been no agriculture, there would not have been any settlements, and humans would still be wandering and killing and doing all those.
In fact, humans, they only about 10 to 12,000 years before, humans were gathering food, hunting, killing animals, bringing small food and roots from different places. It was only because of the advent of agriculture that they were able to settle at a particular place. And if you see the phenomenal growth due to agriculture in the whole world, the whole society, what we see advancement in every branch of industry or technology, basically, the root cause has been agriculture.
So over the period of time, we have become a consumer society. Are we actually, the bulk of humans are moving away from agriculture and are becoming more of consumers?
Basically, urban-based societies, the children are not aware from where the food comes. So they think the food grows in the supermarket or in the shop, it comes back somewhere. But they are not aware of how it comes. The condition is not that bad in India, because India is primarily an agricultural country, has been. And we have a lot of people still coming from rural backgrounds and staying in cities and have connections and roots in their villages. So a lot of people know about agriculture. But if you see the latest city-based cultures and many other countries, and also in India in some places, the children are not aware about how the food is grown, who grows them, under what conditions it is grown, and what are the different kind of conditions there when controlling the quality and the quantity of food produced, and how much the producer who suffers and how much the producer is making hard work, hard labor to produce them. And if they just know about that, they will not be wasting food the way they waste food in or you go to any restaurants, any marriage parties, anywhere, half of the food is wasted. And if these people they know how this is grown and how much the person works for this and how nature has bestowed blessings on us to provide food, we will not be wasting that.
That is a very good starting point of this conversation.
Yeah.
Are we really wasting our produce, and how much of our agriculture produce goes waste on an average from field to the market, and then from market to the consumer, and then at the table of the consumer? How much are we wasting?
No, in fact, if you see the agricultural production as such, about 30% of it is wasted in the field itself because of the various pests and diseases, which we are not able to manage, we are not able to control, or we are not aware of.
Is that a danger area? We need to work on that?
Yeah, that's a very big danger area. Plant protection is a very important subject, which has been rather ignored in the country as such, in all over the world also, but mainly in India. Still, a lot of our production goes waste or is destroyed by the insects, by the nematodes, by the fungi, the bacteria, virus, the rodents, birds. So many different kind of pests are in fact damaging our.
And once the crops are ready, the animals also, like there's a man and animal conflict, and I find many youngsters here who are serving in a restaurant or doing very menial jobs here in Delhi. When I go and meet them and I ask them, you are coming from a rural background, you must be having your own farms, your own land, why don't you go back and do your agriculture? And they said, "Bhau ji, kaise kare? Itna sara to bandar hai wahan par, crop rehne hi nahi deta."
So that is also not only man who occupies land actually, and it's not only man who has the right on earth. A lot of different kind of animals are also there who are living on this planet, and they also need food. Locations of their native places have been destroyed because of agriculture. So we need some kind of conservatories where the wild animals, they can live, they can be saved. So forests have to be maintained so that they can be maintained there, and their rights are not.
So natural habitats of animals need also to be protected.
So they need to be protected. Yes, very right. And after the produce comes to the market, there again when the farmer is selling, the storage wastage are lots. Many times we don't have good storage facilities. Even obviously a lot of grain is procured by the government giving the MSP, and then it is stored in the FCI godowns and other godowns, and many other places, even by the Arthis and others, and it keeps on just lying in gunny bags, and the rainfall comes or something comes and the fungus attacks there, bacterial attacks there, decomposition, and a lot of rodents, and they will damage them. So in fact around 10 to 15% is lost because of the storage losses itself.
30% we lose in the field, and another 10 to 15% we lose for storage.
And when it comes to consumption part and the consumer part, actually, consumer itself, about 1/3 of the food we are wasting overall. If you see every kitchen and every day we are wasting so much of materials, and also in restaurants and our parties, big lavish parties and all that, everybody takes lump sum on the plate and then doesn't consume it, and then they throw it away. And about, at least I will say, a rough estimate, I will say 1/3 nearly is wasted that way. What we could have produced, we are actually producing only around 60-70%. And of that 60-70% produced, we are able to consume, actually really consume only 1/3 of that. Only 40-50% we are consuming. 50-60% is getting wasted in different forms. In fact, this planet, we know that our population is going to become 9.7 billion in 2050 itself. This is hardly 30 years ahead. We need at least 30-40% more food to feed all that population in the world. This can be done even if we just plug these losses. Even if we reduce these losses to even half, we can sustain that population. So a lot of awareness is required at the part of the public, and a lot of technology interventions are required, and also management interventions are required, so that our food chains or the cold chains are developed, our storage facilities are developed, our marketing system, our transport system, and the awareness about the plant protection measures. So all these are given. We can still sustain this 9.7 billion population in the world, but if we just go on the way we are going, perhaps there will be starvations.
One particular field wherein Prime Minister Mr. Modi has also has had a very huge focus on and talks many a times on this is processing industry, food processing industry.
Oh yes.
How far are we lagging in that, and what exactly needs to be done in that field?
This is very, very important. In fact, see, in India, one good thing has happened. Earlier, about 20 years before, we were dependent mainly upon cereals, wheat, rice, and other things. Our food needs were met somehow, but our nutritional needs were not met that way, and also the farmer was not getting the proper profit. One good thing happened in last 20 years is the progress in horticulture sector. Horticulture sectors gives you the vegetables, the fruits and the flowers, which are very, very important for our health, nutritional health, as well as the health of our pocket. But the problem there is that the shelf life is less. They are perishable products. So they require much more different kind of care, actually, so gentle care, gentle handling and proper storage conditions. And also, so they need to be, processed so that they are not wasted if they are not consumed. Either they should be stored properly in proper conditions, or they should be processed to make different kind of products that are not wasted over time. And this processing in many other developed countries, if you see, around 15 to 20% or 30% of their produce is processed and then consumed. If you go to some very developed countries like UK or others, you'll find almost 80%. You'll find they are processed foods they consume. But in our country, hardly 5% produce is processed.
During these days in winters in the northern part of India, quinoa is one product which grows in abundance. And I think its shelf value is hardly 3 or 4 days. And I have seen farmers when I drive down on these roads, they just throw their produce away.
If we have good processing facilities and good storage facilities, these wastes can be stopped and the farmer can get his due. And this is another thing on this, because these farmers get exploited because of this condition. Because many of the people know this farmer is compelled to sell it, and they are not ready to give him the proper price.
So who needs to step in for plugging this? Is it the private sector which needs to step in? Is it the government which needs to step? And how good the universities, the agriculture universities, we have a good number of agriculture universities. Do they also have a role? Only in educating or at a later stage doing something for the crop also?
No, see, agriculture universities are doing their bit in developing technologies and disseminating information, disseminating knowledge. Agriculture universities cannot really take up the role of the industry as a whole.
Now that the government of India wants that every institution should be self-sufficient, why can't they have a role in that?
No, you see, agriculture universities particularly, they have land and other things. But universities are basically meant for education, meant for developing technologies.
So we can introduce one more subject, food preservation in that.
No, this is there. It's already there. Demonstrating technology.
Okay.
The food science technology courses are there in almost every agriculture university and many other universities. Technology is developed. But the universities cannot take the role of procuring materials and processing them and then selling them. That's a part of the industry. That's part of the farmers can join together. They can have their small processing units and also
on the cooperative basis.
And cooperative basis they can do. Other industries can also come up, and there is a lot of entrepreneurship opportunities for our agricultural graduates and other graduates also to develop this kind of businesses. In this sector, a lot of business opportunities exist. A lot of produce and different diversified produce can be made. I give you an example basically. See, a lot of things can be very easily processed. Even primary processing can do a lot of value addition. Dal making, for example. A lot of our farmers produce dal, the arar or the urad or moong or other things. They're producing in their fields and then selling directly in the market. They will get hardly a price of 30-40 rupees a kg, at the most. And the dal you purchase in the market is costing 100 rupees or more. In between, what is happening? The producer, somebody in between, is making a chilka out of it and making dal out of it, and then selling the chilka separately for the animals. Absolutely. And the dal separately for the consumer, and the price difference becomes more than doubled. The dal processing industry is very, very cheap, and the farmers at a village level, if they have a unit of dal processing machine hardly costing 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees, a machine can be put there in the village level or a cluster of villages. You can have one machine. Every farmer can come, process his dal.
That process has not taken off at all here in India.
And this has taken only very small scale. This is taken up, but it should be taken up on a larger scale. So oil extraction is other thing, purification, our quality assessment systems, polishing and labeling. This can be done even at the farmers level. If they can make their own association, and the farmers can produce it and process it and label it, and they make their own produce. If the factory can have a label of its own, why can't our farmers have their label of their own?
So we have developed, as far as farming is concerned, as far as farmers is concerned, we have developed some on that front, and we have got some progressive farmers. Where do you think what more should be or can be done actually to bring in more farmers, because farmer education has taken place. As far as university education, the agriculture university education is there, majority of the students coming there are basically looking for jobs. They are not going to the field to work. So how can these universities bring in farmers?
There are two things to be done basically. One is that our students have to be given an orientation on a practical basis. They are not only adapted to do research or teaching, they should also be able to do practical agriculture, practical farming, practical processing. And agricultural education in India is particularly at least state agriculture universities or ICR institutions, and many of the private universities now have come up. Agricultural education is modulated on this pattern. Agriculture graduates are competent enough to do a lot of these things. But that condition in the villages also has to be improved. When the person becomes a graduate or has a postgraduate degree or something, he is trying to look forward to white collar jobs here and there because the standard of living is something better in the cities and other places. The conditions are not so good in the villages. So they are not able to go and their family pressure and all that. They try to go towards those lucrative kind of jobs and not go towards village. So if we have development of the village clusters, so that all these facilities are also available there, and then good health facilities are good education facilities are available. Gradually things are improving, and the farmers can also take advantage of them. And these students can have some kind of entrepreneurship of their own to provide, say, machinery. Ours is a country where every farmers are mostly small farmers. About 90% of the farmers are very small farmers, and they every farmer tries to keep a tractor or heavy machinery or sprayers and other things, or the seed drills or the kind of things. They become very expensive to keep actually. So it's better that these farmers can be provided some kind of center, a kind of custom services, and these our agriculture graduates or some other graduates can join, have some kind of place where they can keep the machinery. The machinery can be hired by the farmers, and then they can use it, and then they need not keep the whole thing.
I don't know why. Is it because that you are sitting in front of me who has been a vice chancellor of an agriculture university? I think all roads are leading towards universities only, the agriculture universities only. Do we have marketing as a subject in agriculture university?
Oh, yeah, we
have MBAs in agriculture?
Yeah, we have, particularly MBA in agribusiness sector is very, very important coming up field. And they are available in very many institutions in different countries. MBA is given in agribusiness. And these graduates are in fact competent to handle agricultural production industries as well as marketing industries, export-import businesses, and these graduates are trained in that.
We should feel very happy that we are one of the youngest nations in the world right now, and most of our youngsters are literate enough. They have got good education, and agriculture is one field wherein there is a lot of potential to grow. I think more and more youngsters should now be coming in to join the agriculture sector, and that 70% of the produce that we are wasting, I think that needs to be plugged. I think that is the carry away from this National Farmers Day.
Right. This is in field of agricultural education where a lot of different kind of opportunities are available, and opportunities available for all kind of aptitudes. Somebody is interested in medical field, there is a lot of medical applications in agriculture. Somebody is interested in engineering field, there is a lot of engineering applications, commerce applications, business applications, biochemistry, biotechnology, a lot of things, all these fascinating things, what people think of. These opportunities are also available in agricultural education, and agricultural education itself is a whole field, basically a very vast field, and a lot of different kind of opportunities are available. And our education, our agriculture in the country cannot progress unless science and technology is applied in practice in the farmers' fields, and our farmers adopt these technologies, which is really plenty of it available. And a lot of extension services are available in the country, and this knowledge goes to the farmers. Farmers should adopt it.
So youngsters who are on the threshold of choosing a subject after 10+2, I think agriculture is one perfect choice. And all those who have done their commerce and have done their MBA, marketing of agriculture produce is also one field wherein you can try your hand in. These are the carryaways from today's National Day for the Farmers. Professor Shankar Gaur, thank you so much for being our guest today. And had I been a little younger, I would have definitely taken up agriculture. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You just heard a conversation between Dr. Shankar Gaur, former Vice Chancellor of an agricultural university, and Nitish Arora on the topic Challenges and Opportunities in the Agriculture Sector in the backdrop of the National Farmers Day. We welcome your suggestions and comments regarding our programs. You can mail us on englishsw@gmail.com. This broadcast came to you on the FM Gold channel of All India Radio, Delhi.